Let's take a look at Grizzly Gulch hole 2. This one is usually a pretty safe ace run and a safe birdie, but yeah, I have found trouble here in the past, and it's usually a result of taking a swim in the river here. So if you hit this tree right here, you're almost certainly taking a swim. If you hit this second guardian tree, you might not go for a swim, but I have rolled. It's only about 40 feet from the basket to the drop off here, and I've hit this tree and rolled down to the drink. So yeah, you can't find trouble here. There's also a few trees behind the basket that can give you an obstructive look if you're too aggressive with your tee shot. And you can also, there's a big rock back here, of course, that you can use as a backstop, but if you get, there's a corner back here, I'll show you in a second. If you get in this corner, it's not a super challenging shot, but it does one that it makes you pause. So there's some spots to avoid on this hole. But let's take a look at the birdie layout first. I usually use the Warship, and that's because I don't bag a 7-speed, but I did for a long time, so I threw one in the bag for this video. But the Warship works really well in most favorable winds, at least. Middle chevron to the middle of that fence right there, and then straight pullback. And if you don't know, the Warship goes in the mid slot, so it frees up a slot in the main bag. That's one benefit of it. The downside is I did lose a couple of ace runs, but the Explorer, accurate extra glide in this case, same exact thing, same aim point, straight back. It'll work a little better in some of the more adverse winds, and obviously give you a nice birdie look also. I'm not going to bother throwing in as usual, wasting time. The Explorer, you can also use backhand for a layup. Aim point's about right here. With this 3-wind, I'm going to give it a bit of hyzer, make sure it comes in. But this should be a relatively safe look. Even though that went a little deep, it's probably 70 feet, 80 feet, so not bad. And with a calmer wind, yeah, this backhand layup is usually much nicer. It's usually much closer to the basket. This is probably going to be 60. Yep. And so that's the layout play. And let's take a look at the ace runs. All right, and the first option, which I think is the best option for the ace run, is the accurate glide musket on a forehand. With this wind, here's the aim point. Almost a straight pull back. And the reason I like this one, it's a pretty wide open shot at the basket. You're not likely to hit anything and find trouble. The next option is with the accurate Windbreak musket on a backhand. This is definitely doable, but a much tighter shot. But I've gotten a number of aces with this one. A very satisfying ace there. And then the last one is with the accurate glide Explorer. This works best with a 3 tailwind. Aim point as shown. So several options for the ace run. So that was a look at Grizzly Gulch hole 2. I hope you learned something, and we'll see you around the valley.